maybe 6. So I could look at what fields we have. Yeah, that's the other thing. I could whole crop every other field on the map that I could afford, one way or the other. Either make maize or make whole crop silage. I do want to test to see if the mower will work on the maize. Because if not, I'm going to have to get some equipment to forage it. Which isn't a problem. This tractor is big enough to run forage equipment. But then I won't be able to bale it. I think that is an option. Okay, so what are we actually doing here? Saving, okay. Do the saving. Money, cows. Probably going to have to shred some straw at some point. Still need a little bit more milk. Anyway, moving right along. Those are all 20% done. Productions is what I'm more interested in, and slurry will below 300. Manure, I've got 50,000. That will be gone very, very soon. But, this is 30,000. Was it 200? So probably about 6 tanker loads of this is all that they've got capacity for. Maybe borderline 7. As you can see, it's a struggle. As I said, this is over 500 horsepower hauling this, and it's still not a happy bunny. And that's the other thing. Rules for this series, I'm only allowed to do contracting on 1 game day per month. So we're already doing contracts today, so I can't do any tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be selling of perishables. I don't have to sell bread because we've already sold it once this month. I do have to sell the tomatoes. I do have to sell the butter. But, and honey isn't perishable. So there is no requirement to sell honey every month. I should probably think about it because that gets full. It's just not significant in the grand scheme of things. Alrighty. And still 2 workers running, so good. And really, we've almost completed all 3 of the contracts that I've selected. Okay, 323, 324. Okay, still going. There you go. Okay, so that's empty. I'm going to be able to get 150. Yeah, 150. So 5 more tanks before that's dry, or before that's full. Now if I have the tractors available, I'll actually run the Fendt or the Class Arian on the smaller tanker, and I'll transfer 43,000 litres per trip rather than just 30. Although primarily the small tank is for field work. Still works as a transporter. I do like doing that. I like to take as fewer trips as possible, which is why I make the biggest bales. Most of the time. And I tend to stick to round bales because the Anderson bale trailer will transport more on them. Unfortunately, I don't think... I'm having issues with bales on this map, and I don't know whether it's a mod, whether it's the map, or whether bales are in general bugged. But bales are a struggle, which is why we've resorted to using an autoload trailer, because they don't bug as badly on that. But they even bug on the bale forks, which are in-game bale forks. So that's actually a problem. As I've noted, it may be possible to switch the bale forks to a round bale grab, and that probably doesn't latch onto the bale and keep it. And workers are still going, so we'll just keep this job running. Oh goodness me. If I can ship all the manure over to the BGA, then at least I don't have to worry about, oh, I've run out, let's turn it off, and oh, I've just dropped another load over there, let's turn it back on again. I'm not sure how much slurry our cows are actually producing. I do know we are processing it faster than they're producing it. The manure, we're almost out, so that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing, and may indicate that the small BGA is probably something that is sufficient for this size of farm. Plus, I can always do a level up on it, so that it processes a double rate, but we're really not, I'm not as concerned about filling up the manure storages on the cow shed and causing the milk to stop flowing. Although milk has stopped being our number one production. The cows are still our number one production, but because manure, not because stuff. And then while we're here, I mean, we just got the electric and the methane on cell. We're up to 740,000 litres of digestate. I hate to think how much stuff we've bought over here to make that, and that's after I've spread digestate on all the fields. So the maize field, the maize and the 4 barley fields are the last 4 fields that I'm going to have to spread digestate on. And I am spreading digestate. You use up more slurry to make up an amount of digestate. So you're already reducing the amount of product you have to use, and then I'm using the digestate directly on the fields rather than slurry or manure on the fields, because it's helpful. It makes, it brings the farm a serious amount of cash, but it creates a situation where we're not storing more than or we're not creating more than we use. We are. I mean, all things told, we are producing far more digestate that I can use. I probably use half of what the BGA has in it right now. But as we empty the cowshed, we are going to hit a point where digestate production is going to be much lower, especially in end of today. We're not going to have any manure left, and it'll produce a little bit tomorrow, but I may wait till there's sort of 150,000 litres of manure before I ship it over to the BGA and get that processed. And I expect similar to happen in the slurry as well, with the slurry as well, which would then mean that we're producing a lower quantity of digestate on any given month, and the BGA will be sitting idle for a lot of the time. Much like the bread factory, I believe some call a bakery. Am I done with my tea? I am now done with my tea, and oh my goodness, that's cold. Come on, tractor. So what's this? This is number 3. And as I said, I want 6 loads. And I do want to store both tanks at the BGA, generally. The tipper I can store at the farm because it's just transporting manure from the farm to the BGA and is not being used for anything else because it's manure. But the tanks, I want to leave them empty at the BGA so that if I do find I need to do some digestate spreading, I use this as a resupply tank. So I've got 3.5 loads of digestate in a field ready to go, and I don't have to take that small tank to and fro between the fields. Oh, why did you stop there, you annoying person? If I take the back of your car off, it's your own problem. Okay, someone's finished. Looks like we're done with the stuff that we're doing. So I will drop this here. Have to keep the tractor running, obviously. So how that looking? That's looking 375,000, probably about 390, I'm gonna guess. And I will be totally wrong. 387, okay. So I'll park that there and go find this dude who is not completely done, but this is very close. And the fence still running, so that's good. Did I move the fence to the other field? I really can't remember. I think the fence still doing the big field, which means that I'm not going to be able to start baling until it's finished. Oops. Get away from the hedge. Thank you. Okay, race down to the end. We'll check that this has all been done. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, let's fold that up. And we will head back to the farm. So, windrow is running, I think. We're going to be good enough that I'll attach the baler on the back and get this into the service shed. Check the fence, then I'll get back in the John Deere and start running some more slurry. I might take a truck of manure out there, because it's 30,000 litres. It'll give us a few more hours of manure production. And again, I could look at, you know, what fields are for sale, what have crops. I think I did check last month, and the fields that are closest to the farm, we've bought all the ones that were low value, on sale, shall we say. The ones that are selling at premium prices, I skipped. I could afford them, but why spend 50% more for a field when I can spend 20% less? Or 30% less? In some cases it's 70-80% more. I suppose we could have a look, see what's out there. Oh, and yeah, I was going to say, the other thing I can do is we could start with the maize testing. Because the maize is in a state that I can forage it. Looks like it's not going to be ready to harvest till October. So getting out there and foraging it would be a good plan. Okay, we are back at the yard. The fence is still running. I really only need to clean the windrower, not the windrower, the tedder, because the tractor's going straight back out. I know in earlier versions of the game there used to be a mod where you didn't actually have to clean your equipment. If you got it serviced at the store, they would clean it as part of the service. Which sort of kind of makes sense, because I need the equipment cleaned off so that I can actually get to all the bits that I need to maintain. And I don't want dirt falling into the oops, it was a little violent, into the oil when we do the oil change. Okay, let's back you onto the tiny baler. And this was last, crumbs. This was last set up to do straw. There is a potential that we could get a straw bale out of this, because we're past the capacity of hay. Okay, where is the vent? I don't see it. So anyway, let's... Oh, it's finished. Wow, there you go. And I didn't get this thing serviced, but that will be fine. So seriously, this thing got right to the end just as we got here. That's kind of convenient. Let's see if I can finagle this into some semblance of a row on the edge of the field. So around about there. Let's see if we can get this as straight as possible. That would be a good plan. Did I do the top edge? I can't remember. Oh well. Everything I have to do here is manual, so I can't start baling until I get this equipment off the field, and to get it to the next field it has to be assisted. So I will do that. I'll stop the rotors. We'll go drive. Check the other end. I did say we're going to turn those off. Oh, Cameo, welcome. Yeah, I mean, I've said, yeah, the biggest problem I had was with the X-Tractor and the Anderson bale collectors, the round ones. The X-Tractor would create giant bale monsters which would go rumbling over the fields, much like the original Ghostbusters movie. So not that was a big problem, because I had to actually it put my bale trailer in orbit along with my John Deere, and I couldn't get them back. They were just gone. They were still in the equipment list, but when I tabbed to them, they just weren't there, or I couldn't. They just got skipped. I tried saving the game and reloading it, and they were still gone. And I lost the Anderson twice with the John Deere. So at that point, it was a case of, okay, this is bugged. But for the most part, it was with wrapped bales. But then I've been having problems with straw bales and bale spikes, and every other type of bale and bale spikes. I don't know if it's limited to round bales or whether it's a square bale thing. I know Daggerwind's having issues with his, what does he use? His Heston baler and bale spikes. The spikes just get stuck in the bale and you can't get them off. In my case, the bales get stuck, but if I can catch them on the lip of a bale shredder, they come off, but the bale spike is still registering as attached to the bale. And it will try and take the front loader or wheel loader or telehandler with it when I go to when I drive off with the bale shredder. So it's all a big problem. I am wondering, oops, that's not the field I want. I'm wondering if Giants are obviously going to be patching the game before the Horsch equipment comes in. So potentially we've got a possible patch on the 18th of July, which may fix this problem. I hope it does. But, you know, traditionally when Giants release a new oh, okay. I'll start it and then you can keep going. How about that? Yeah, when Giants bring out a new equipment pack, typically there are new features within that pack, so therefore there's a patch to enable those new features and bug fixing. I know someone was saying there were some bugs. I think it was Saxthorpe Park or Saxthorpe Farm. There was a bug, and Giants said to, oh, who is it? I can't remember who the modder is, but Giants said to the modder that you can't actually fix this bug because it's a bug in the game. However, while we fix the bug, there's a couple of other things you can do to help us not see the problem on your map. So he's fixing that map while Giants fix the game. And I should have gone backwards from the vent. There we go. Okay, let me start the engine, lower the thing, turn it on, and drive. I'm sure I do. And there we go. We just dropped to 9,000 litres. So I lost a fair amount of stuff in the back of the baler because we were up to 10,000 litres there. Anyway, let me... Oh, quite possibly. At the moment, when I move to the new farm, I am probably going to be doing a lot